The first dog that we have for you today is one of our younger dogs. This is Gunner, and he is a barrel of energy for sure, which I mean is pretty common for a dog as young as he is. He's about 10 months old. Some would say puppy, others would say, an adolescent dog. So he definitely has a lot of energy and still working on learning those manners. But because he enjoys a good snack, it's a little bit easier to do training when you have a food motivated dog. And Gunner definitely, in my interactions, seems to be happy to take a treat. He actually takes the treats pretty nicely, and he does know sit. And as you can see, he does jump up. But what I've noticed about Gunner is when he does it, he's pretty gentle about it. It's more of an affectionate thing, and maybe a little bit of an impulse control thing. All stuff that's pretty easy to work on. And unfortunately, what a lot of people do is they like it when their dog, they're like, oh, he's giving me a hug. So then they continue to pet each time they jump up and kind of reinforce that. So we try to work on those things here. And then it's just going to be an option, for adopters, whether they want the hugs or they want their dogs to keep their feet on the ground. And Gunner, as you see, was interested in the toys there. So he does like to play. He's just, a pretty typical guy. He obviously needs to work on those manners. Doesn't seem to be bothered by the other dogs very much. He has a lot of potential. And he's a little bit of a smaller dog. He's under 50 pounds. He will fill out a little bit more, but he's not going to be a huge dog. So if that's something you're looking for, you like the idea of having a shepherd, but you don't want a really big one, this would be a good option. Now, on the other hand, if you do want the big, typical-looking German Shepherd, we do have Delgado, who is still on our adoption floor, who's more of that standard look for you. But, Gunner's very friendly. We do have him listed as, older children just because he can be a little bit mouthy. He's not a dog that seems to love pets right now. He gets a little overstimulated, aroused, and then he starts doing the mouthing of your hands and stuff like that. As we saw, he jumps up. So for those types of reasons, we're saying maybe kids that are a little bit older aren't going to be as easily knocked down, or going to maybe recognize when he's getting a little aroused and back off, just for the safety of everybody in the household. But those are just recommendations, not necessarily requirements. So if you have, a child in your house that's used to this type of activity with a dog, you don't care so much about it, you're like, oh, it's okay if they take a tumble every now and then that's totally fine. That's something that just making sure that the children and the animal meet and they feel comfortable is our main priority.
So Gunner's story, how he arrived at the shelter here, is a bit sad. Can you share that with us?
Sure. So, we'd like to take notes if we have information on, how they come in. And one of the ACOs, our animal control officers, went out and picked this guy up. And they wrote a note in our file saying that, sadly, he was just left tied to a fence in Ballinger Creek Park. We want people to understand, right now we do have appointments for owned animals. That's just to make sure that we have the space for your dog so that they're going to be coming into a better situation and that we're prepared to take them in. Give you a chance to really think about it, make sure that, you're not impulsively making a decision that you then later regret. So those are the reasons that why we're having those appointments. But we do work with people. So, letting us know your situation, we may be able to take your dog in sooner, things like that, so that they don't have to be, left in, out in the park and maybe potentially something bad happened to them. So definitely, being very communicative with us, but also we can give you resources. If you're really not wanting to let go of your pet, we can connect you with the Humane Society, who might have some resources for you, or our focus group, who might be able to help you so that you're able to keep your pet in your home. So definitely reach out via our phone or our email, which are going to be 301-600-1546, or animalcontrol@frederickcountymd.gov if you have any questions about those types of issues. And if you're interested in meeting with Gunner, you can book an appointment to meet him at visitfcac.as.me.